Hi, my name is Mike Rutkowski, estate planning and elder law attorney here at the Rutkowski Law Firm. What are you doing in here?
Hey Dad, you're in my chair.
In your chair? I'm not giving up my chair.
Welcome to the Rutkowski Law Firm.
Michael, let's talk about estate planning readiness. When should you start estate planning? What are the boxes you need to check to say, yes, now is the time, let's go?
A lot of times there's this myth or idea, and it somehow ties to net worth. A lot of people think there's like a net worth I need to do estate planning. I know a lot of financial professionals, so financial advisors, wealth managers, they kind of push that idea too, that they say once you have a certain amount of wealth, then you're ready for a trust. Because really the question you're asking is, when do I have enough stuff to make a plan for who it goes to? Because really estate planning as a whole is a big topic. And when someone turns 18, they need powers of attorney so that someone can make decisions for them. Otherwise, they would be going to the court system. But really, I think the question most people are thinking about is like, when do I have enough stuff? When do I have enough complexities in my life that would warrant putting something on paper to say what's going to happen if something happens to me? So yes, 18 years old, get some powers of attorney. I have a million horror stories I can tell you about someone who didn't have one. Catch those college kids before they go off to college and never talk to you again. But let's talk about the other part of this, which is like, when do I need wills, trusts? Like, when does that all happen? And is there enough complexities in my life for like an estate plan? The first time really a lot of families are coming to us to work with are having your first child. So life events spark this need for estate planning. So I would say like the first time in your life where you need to start considering this, really, home ownership, okay? Having kids, getting married, like these are the things that, so let's call it like, I don't know, when's that happening? About 25 years old. 25 to 30 is that time when these things are happening. Because there's all levels of estate planning and trust that handle these things. You know, when a young family comes to us, the important things that they're thinking about is, who's going to be the parents of my kids if I can't be? And then if I pass away prematurely, let's structure something so that my kids don't get assets before I want them to, so they go buy a bunch of iPad games, right? And so like that's your simple trust, and you might have barely any assets to fund that. That might be completely funded through life insurance, which means you don't even have the dollars today, but if you pass away, those complexities kind of come up. And so it doesn't matter if you have a home that like your mortgage is 90% of the asset. That's okay. You still need a plan in place, because without any type of estate planning, that whole thing is wrapped up in probate. No one can sell it. It's a nightmare. You're not going to get anywhere with that. So really, like home ownership, young kids, like having your first kids, getting married, like those are when you should really be starting to think about estate planning. As life goes on, it gets more complicated. But again, there's like 60 different types of trusts that can help someone avoid probate. And maybe we're starting with the most simplest version of a revocable living trust. And as we gain wealth and assets and vacation properties in Florida and the ski lodge in Colorado, you know, we're all dreaming right now. But, okay, it becomes more complex and there's more things we need to do. But, you know, those basics of having kids, getting married, real estate should really be triggering having a conversation with an estate planning attorney to figure out what is it that I could do.
So net worth doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, everybody needs some sort of form of an estate plan.
You know, a great point to that is, one of the simplest clients we could work with would be a married couple, 2.5 kids and a dog, right? Isn't that like your American family? They have $5 million, but it's all in one Chase account. Like one Chase account, their primary residence, that is as straightforward as it gets, versus the couple that maybe met later in life. They each have their own kids. They want to make sure that when one of them passes away, their kids are protected. And they might only have a net worth of $200,000, but they need more estate planning than the family that's got the $5 million. So it really, really has nothing to do with net worth whatsoever. I have heard people say like $1 million or 600,000 as like the net worth marker, but again, nothing to do with net worth, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Well, if you're considering estate planning and you're trying to figure out what you need right now, given your current life scenario, please give us a call. The phone number's below, and we'd be happy to help. If you are still on the journey to figuring out what estate planning is and why it's important and why you might want to keep considering it, and you're still going down the research rabbit hole, keep on watching.